YouTube, we back with another video as promised. Now, I've been telling you guys that I'm gonna be posting daily. I'm gonna have this consistency thing down to a T. Trust me, when it comes to YouTube and consistency, I'm gonna have it down to a T, because for me, this is not a job. This is not something that I'm expecting to make money from. This is something that I truly enjoy doing. This is a hobby, and I just want to be able to indulge in this hobby the right way by being consistent. You feel me? Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is I want to talk to you about how I felt a little bit coming back to the States. I want to chop it up with you guys on a more spiritual level, right? And I want to talk about the qualities and traits that you need to possess in order to get to where you want to be. All these videos that I'm going to be posting are going to be just me showing you guys the process, the process of what it takes to reach your goals, because I will eventually go back to Thailand permanently, right? And I just want to show you guys a realistic and authentic journey of like I said, what it takes to get back to a higher high, or just the peak in your life, you know? Because nothing is impossible. This life, this reality is very, very spiritual. And if you haven't tapped in with that yet, then hopefully this video can enlighten you a little bit. But before we get into all of that, I'm shirtless. Yes, it's 105 degrees outside right now. I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm sorry. All right. I don't want to be in all my videos shirtless, but hey, it's 105 out today. You got me all the way messed up if you think I'm going to be wearing a shirt. And as you can see, I got a pump. I went to the gym yesterday because prior to that I was sick for 2 weeks. And I was expecting to lose a lot of strength, but I actually came back stronger. It's funny how that works. Rest is very important. Yeah, I hit chest yesterday, chest and arms, chest tries and buys. That's what I hit yesterday. A little something light, repping 225, you know. But anyways, yeah, I'm not one of those type of guys who's worried about the scale too much. I'm more concerned with how I feel, how I look, and honestly, I train for aesthetics now and just to be healthy overall. Like, of course, I want to maintain the athletic ability that I have because I do jujitsu on the weekends, right? But I'm more concerned with how I'm feeling and, you know, how I'm looking. You can call it vain, but I don't think caring and prioritizing my health is vain. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, what I want to talk about is when I came back to the States, I feel like I lost the plot. And what I mean by that is I lost all the things, or I wouldn't say I lost them. I just was tunnel visioned on something that I didn't necessarily want for myself. And what I mean by that is, in order to achieve anything that you want in life, you need to focus on the process, right? But you also need to have many traits, such as gratefulness, right? Such as focus, determination, gratefulness, humbleness. There's just a lot of things. Ambition, like there's a lot of different things that you need to have. But when I came back, I didn't have an ounce of gratitude or like an ounce of like, dang, I really did that. I really lived overseas. I created that for myself. I was focused on them. I'm coming back to America. I don't want to be here. And here's the thing, like in life, this is what I've learned from my own experience. I think this is a universal law. If you focus on what you want, or if you're grateful for the things that you have, you will attract more of that. I think I've talked about this in my previous videos before. It's very spiritual, but if you're focused on what you don't want, you're going to attract that thing. It's like, it's the law of attraction pretty much. Your mind is going to shape the reality around you, right? Your mind's going to shape whether or not you're living the life that you want to live. And that all ties into qualities and traits that you need to have. I think the most important quality to have is gratefulness. Because as I said, coming back to the States, I wasn't ungrateful for the experience that I created for myself, but I wasn't exactly expressing that gratitude, or being to myself, dang, you really did that, so don't worry about going back to the States or having to go back. If you did it once, you'll be able to do it again. So that's just one thing. But coming back, like I said, it was difficult because I sold everything before I moved to Thailand. But I don't want anyone on my channel going around thinking that life is linear, right? It's not. Life is not linear. You're going to have ups and downs, but the most important thing is how you respond to those downs. The mentality that you have when you're down is very important as well. Before, when I came back, I was just like in a gloomy place where I was just like not, like, I was tunnel visioned on the things that I didn't want, and I kept attracting them. I cannot stress this enough. You have to be process oriented in life. You have to be process oriented, or else what you want to achieve is not going to come to fruition. You need to focus on the things and the habits that it takes to get to where you want to be. You can't focus on the goal. You can't focus on the outcome. You can't focus on what you don't want. All right? Because all you have now is now. All you have now is the present, right? You follow me? You follow me? So why put yourself in a space mentally where you're not here? Why put yourself in a space mentally where you're like thinking about the past or thinking about the future too much? Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to reflect on the past and it's good to think about the future, but all you have is right now. All you have is the thoughts that you have now, and all you have is now, right? Another thing I want to say is you are not your thoughts. This is something that I struggled with coming back to the States. I was like, damn, I was viewing shit like I failed because I have to come back to the States. That's so fucking that's so fucked up. That is really, really fucked up to think, because in reality, I'm 22 years old. I created an experience, or I was 22 years old, right? And I moved out of the country at 22 years old and created an experience for myself that not only 22-year-olds don't usually get to have, but people in general don't usually get to move out of the country, right? And with my thinking back then, I was thinking that I failed because I had to come back to the States. And that's not the case, because even if this is considered a setback, or even if this is something that I don't want to have to do, or a place I don't have to be, I should be fucking grateful that I have a setback to be able to become stronger in the end, right? Because you're not going to get stronger without adversity. And I cannot stress this enough. It's like a paradox. You can be a place in your life where you don't like anything in your life, but that very feeling is going to make you stronger, and it's going to push you to achieve things that you didn't know that you could have achieved. This is a very, very, very spiritual thing that I came to realize over the course of the past year. Another thing that I want to talk about is how in this life, right? I just talked about how it's spiritual, but I want to talk about how it is very important that you, as a person, as a man, as a woman, anybody watching this, you need to have some sort of belief system, whether it's religion, whether it's philosophy, whether it's spiritual practices that just help you, meditating. You need to have something that you believe in, because it's not about blindly following your philosophy or your religion, right? It's not about that shit. It's about the faith that you have in your religion, in your philosophy, in your spiritual practices that you transfer to your real life. It's about having the faith of knowing that whatever that you believe in, you can't see it physically, right? But you know it's working in your life. It's the same shit with wanting to make a goal or make anything that you want to achieve happen. You have to have blind faith, right? You have to believe that it's already, you just got to believe that it's already happened. And that's why religion or philosophy or having different spiritual practices that are beneficial to you, that's why it's important. And this is what I've learned in the past year. Coming back, I kind of fell out of all the spiritual habits that I had. I stopped meditating. I stopped journaling. I stopped praying. I stopped practicing, visualization. I stopped all of this shit because I was so tunnel visioned on the things that I didn't want. I was so tunnel visioned on, oh, I don't want to be back in the States. And I'm sharing this with you guys so you can avoid going through those feelings that I went through in whatever you're dealing with in your life. This life is very, very spiritual. The traits and qualities that got me to Thailand: gratefulness, right? Patience is a virtue. I think patience is one of the hardest things to really truly internalize, right? Because time is time. You can't rush it, you can't speed it up, you can't reverse it. All you can do is just be. But I think patience is very, very important. I think being humble is very, very important. Knowing that what you have can be easily taken away from you, because it's true. I don't want to make this video too long because I know my videos are very, very long sometimes, and I can yap a little bit. But I will say this: it is very important that you become spiritually adept and spiritually aware of your own self, your reality, and your thoughts, because you will not get anywhere unless you control what's up here. And if you fall into a dark place, if you fall into a depression state, you need to pick yourself and get yourself out of that. And I think the best way to do that, right? The first way, just get out, get fresh air, take a walk, do anything, right? But the second way is to be grateful. Be grateful for the little things. Be grateful for the breath that you have. Be grateful for the people that you have around you. Be grateful for the things that you've accomplished. Be grateful that you're fucking healthy, dude. Be grateful that you don't have one arm and two toes, because there are people out there that do have that, right? You were born healthy. You were born with a sane mind. You were born with testosterone raging through your veins, brother. You were born with that. Be thankful for that, okay? If you're thankful for the little things, the bigger things will naturally just come to you, because when you're thankful, you're able to see the great in your life, and then you're gonna continue to see more and more great into your life, and what you see is your reality. So it's like a snowball effect. It's like a domino effect. When you're grateful, you continue to receive things to be grateful for, because you're constantly seeing things to be grateful for. That's just how it works, man. That is a very, very important spiritual practice that I will always preach on my channel. Be grateful for the littlest shit. Be grateful that you have breath in your lungs. Just be grateful, brother. That's it. I just wanted to chop it up with you guys about gratitude, about what it takes to get to where you want to be, and the traits and qualities that you need to have. And honestly, like, when I post these videos, I may just yap on them, but if I can help at least even one person feel better, my job is done, okay? My job is done. If I can help one person feel better, or one person get through the day, my job is done. I'm not here to try to please everybody, right? I'm here because I enjoy recording videos, talking to you guys, spitting out my thoughts, because it's hard to have conversations like these with people in real life. So, hey, if I helped you in this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.